Welcome to the Purpose to Prosperity Summit show series, where we're here to provide you information, inspiration, stories, wisdom, experience, so that you can awaken those latent gifts that you have within, so you can see how unique you are, so you can see how you can make a difference in this world, and possibly pair that up with whatever your idea of prosperity is. I have a beautiful guest with me here today. Her name is Michelle Thames, and let me tell you a bit about her. Michelle Thames is an award-winning blogger turned marketing expert and industry thought leader who has helped catapult now multi-million-dollar companies from a startup to becoming a household name by leveraging organic social media and digital marketing strategies. She teaches experts, creators, influencers, and business owners how to get their businesses visible and make more money. So welcome, Michelle.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here and to chat with everyone all about social media, getting visible, making more money, and just being yourself. So I am so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, Michelle is going to help us tame, Michelle Thames is going to help us tame that inner critic, right, Michelle? It's going to be, we're going to go deep on visibility and why it's so important, not just for your business, but for you, for your health. Even if you're in corporate America, whether you want to launch a business or not, even if you don't want to show up on social media, just this concept of showing up in your life, being visible, allowing yourself to be yourself. So Michelle, tell me a little bit about your journey in this. Were you ever a shy girl who was like, no, I don't want to show my face on social media? And then now you are someone who teaches people how to be visible, or not? Were you always cool with it?
So I will say in high school, I was shy. I had this experience in high school where I did this talent show and the whole entire school booed me and two other girls who were doing a performance. And so from that moment, I'm like, being in front of like a crowd, I'm not going to let this hinder me. So when I went to college, we have these group programs and group assignments. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have all these speaking classes. My background is in healthcare administration. To give you a background, I don't even have a marketing background. And so I took those classes and I'm like, I want to speak in front of more people. And I think that this can be like a lead into something or something that I do later on in life. And so I have not always had the confidence to show it. When I first started on YouTube, it was so very scary, but I knew that I had something different. This online business world was different. Being an influencer was different. A blogger is different. And so I just stepped into that and said, the more practice I do, I will get better at it. The more that I continue to speak, I will get better at it. If you know what you're talking about, it will come easily to you. And then you just have to think of everybody's, they're in their underwear. So that's what you have to think of it.
So that works, huh?
I think it works when you're doing especially on stage. Just think of everyone in their underwear and just think of everyone not even judging you, just releasing that. I think that's what it is when it comes to social media. We think that people are going to judge us, so we don't post. We think that people are going to have something to say about our content, about us promoting our business, so we don't post. But if you take that away, then you'll post, I think.
Yeah, that's that inner critic, that inner, judge. We can call it a nerd, or we can call it a limiting belief. I call a lot of that imposter content, because it really is stuff that's telling you, hey, you're not good enough. Your hair's not right. Don't talk the right way. You say a lot, all these different things, some of which may be useful to look into, but all of which you cannot allow to stop you from showing up. So share with us some of those things that you've seen with your clients over and over again that are maybe those limiting beliefs, those fears, those obstacles that stop them from showing up.
Definitely what other people will say. Also aesthetics. And especially when it comes to Instagram, I think that it started out as a certain way, right? Where it's this platform where, you share aesthetically pleasing photos, but then it's changing. And so I think a lot of people may be stuck in, if it's not perfect, or if I don't have the perfect house or the perfect background or whatever, I don't want to post this. And so I do find a lot of my clients being, afraid of what people may think of the appearance of their content, the appearance of themselves. I have people in my programs that say, I have to put on makeup to go live. You don't have to put on any makeup to go live. If your community, your audience doesn't appreciate your authenticity for you showing up and being yourself, then they don't have to follow you, right? You should just show up as you truly are. If you like to put on makeup, do it. If you don't, don't do it. So that's one of the things I find my clients struggling with is definitely, what other people might say.
Okay. So what are the people going to say if I don't live up to that image that, it's got to be the makeup, it's got to be the perfect hair, my skin has to look good, I have to be thin, I got to look like Vogue or, the newscasters on TV or whatever it might be. Okay. So what are some of the things that what are some of the tools that you use to help them out of that? Because it's a mindset thing, right? So out of that mindset, out of that habit.
Just talking through it, you really have to, and I approach things like this, and I know it may seem like really like straight blunt, but you cannot care what people think. You have to like say that every day. I don't care what people think. And I mean, like even your mother, your grandmother, like I literally believe that in my soul that I cannot consume myself to think about that every day because it stops us, it stifles us, and then we don't move forward. So we have to just say, no matter what they may think, this is what I want. I want to build an online business. I want people to know about my products and services. I want clients. I want this amazing life for myself. So I'm going to post and I'm not going to care what anyone has to think. And so that's the mindset that I have. And that's the mindset that I help my clients to understand is social media is such this tool that's powerful. It's free. You don't have to pay any money to market if you don't want to, but you have to post the content. And then if you stop because of what someone else thinks, then that's another day that you're not posting, another day, and those accumulate. And then when those accumulate, you're just back at square one with no post. And so when you just say, I don't care what people think, I'm going to do this regardless and see what happens. See what happens.
So if the makeup doesn't matter, if the hair doesn't matter, if these other things, thinking about what people think doesn't matter, what does matter for showing up and for visibility?
Valuable content that will help someone. What do you love to do? I know for me, I love helping people with social media. I can talk about this all day. Marketing is my thing. I can give tons of content ideas. But how is your business helping someone? If you are interested in hair care, for instance, maybe you have a hair care line and you show up to educate your customers on how to use the products because you want them to know how to use them so that they tell their friends and their friends. So really, what are you passionate about? And is your product or service helping someone? That's what I'm passionate about. And that's why I continue to show up, because the value, right? You want to show up and provide valuable content that someone can come back to and say, did you see that podcast Michelle posted, or did you hear it? Oh my gosh, I have to share this with someone else. Did you see that blog post? Did you see that Instagram post? It really helped me. When people start to send you, emails or DMs saying that what you post on social media has helped them, and you'll get there. Believe me, you'll get there, but that's the motivation.
Okay, so you're tapping into the passion. So it really is an inside job first, where you're really identifying what it is that you want to talk about. What I always say in terms of passion and purpose and finding your thing that you're going to be, potentially doing for the rest of your life if you're not pivoting in different versions of things too, which always happens, right? You're always shifting even within a business or maybe into something else, that you get to really hone in on what that thing is that's yours, right? So you're like, I see your excitement when you talk about visibility and social media and marketing and stuff. And you're like, I didn't even study marketing, but I love this. And I love social media. And, you do multiple platforms. So you're in the blogging, you're in the Instagramming, you're YouTubing, you're podcasting. So you found your thing. What did it take for you to do that? Was it just like, oh, let me try marketing? Or was there a moment where you said, this is my passion, this is what I'm going to carry out?
So I started out on social media as a natural hair influencer. So my background is in healthcare, but I got fired from my job in 2016. And when that happened, it pushed me into my purpose. It pushed me into saying, you know what, I'm going to bet on myself, and I am going to go into this social media thing and I'm going to make it mine. Right. And so I don't have a background in marketing, and getting fired from my job is really what pushed me into my purpose. And so I just light up every single time I just think about getting to share about my business, about social media, helping other people online. And so I think that just that's what really pushed me. It wasn't always that way. And I pivoted. So I pivoted from that type of content to the content I share today. So it's been a struggle. I failed so many different times. I did not know how to create this visibility that I have now. I saw other people doing it and I said, wow, I wonder how they're getting all these community and people to comment on their posts. And it was like, just stop, figure this out, figure out how you can utilize all the places that you are. So when I say my digital ecosystem, and you said I'm in many places, I utilize that to bring more visibility to myself. So when you have a lot of different platforms, you can leverage them in different ways. Like my podcast leverages me a different way than Instagram does. My podcast really has put me in a tier of people. Podcasters are like, it's a popular thing. Like there's some really top podcasters, and to be in a space like that with, as being an expert in marketing, is great to my visibility. It's great to help me build my brand. So just knowing that if you have several places that you are making that work together, but absolutely not. I have not always been successful. I have failed. I failed at launches. I failed at just a lot of things, strategies, but really taking it all back and saying, okay, I'm here on all these platforms. How can I make them work together for me? So a lot of failure has happened. I want everyone to know that.
I hear that. I know that I've been through my ups and downs in multiple businesses. And so I know the value of those lessons too, right? We want to make sure people know that, and I'm sure everybody who's listening has been through their own set of failures, and the mindset to have is, hey, it's my failure, but like Michelle, we keep going, because that's a lesson you learn, and that is something that you get to evolve out of and into something else. And I really appreciate that you shared that, the thing that got you into your thing was a failure itself, right? Could be considered a failure, which is, hey, I got fired from my job. Those are blessings in disguise, right, Michelle? I mean, those are the things I call those, like, the pain that pushes you to pivot, because it's like, oh, this is not comfortable. It does not feel good. I remember I launched my first business when I got laid off from, I was an editor at a newspaper, and I knew it was like, the market was crashing. Editors made more money than reporters. So I knew the editors were going to go first because the paper was in the red and all this stuff. And so I was like, okay, what do I get to do now? It doesn't feel very good, but it pushed me out of something where I was in a comfort zone. And it got me to the evolution of what I have now, which are amazing businesses. And so I really love that you share that. Now, I've seen in your work too, where you talk about, hey, okay, we got to show up, we got to show up, we got to show up. But we also, get to not show up and still make money. Tell me about that.
Automations and systems. So when you're sick, when you are not feeling your best, how can you still leverage social media organically to still make money for you? Well, if you have funnels set up, right? So I created a post, like you said, that said I was sick and I did not have, unfortunately, I hadn't recorded enough reels for the week. And so I didn't have any content to post, but it was okay because I still was able to make $500 from my organic content and my leads that were already on social media. So when I said like my lead magnet, maybe it's a reel that was leading them to somewhere, i.e. to sign up for my email list, to get into my funnel. And then of course there's a series of emails and things. And then at the end of it, there is an offer, right? And so those are the types of things, automations and funnels that you can have set up that work for you, even when you're sick. So it could be, there's a free webinar that you have that's always repeated on autopilot, but there's constantly people signing up. And if you are constantly promoting that one specific offer a lot, or over a period of time, you're always going to get people to sign up for it. So that's what happened in that instance. So I am all about automations, because who wants to work hard? We all want to work smart. And so automations is what helps you work smart. I mean, there's tools like Zapier that can help you automate almost anything in your business.
Yeah, I'm a fan of automation too. I think it's one of the best investments that you can make in any business and in anything in your life too. Anything that you can be like, okay, well, I get this to automate this and I get to spend more time quality wise over here, including in things like rest and having fun, or if you get sick, that you are able to stay in bed. And because none of us get into, I think, into our businesses, we do get into it because we're passionate. We get into it because it's our purpose. It's along the lines of what we came here to do, and also to prosper from it. But nobody gets into it so that you can recreate what you had at a corporate job, which is feeling like you have to be somewhere when you don't want to be there, right? You get to have the freedom, you get to design whatever you want, and how you get to do it is, through these systems, through this information and showing up. So give me a roadmap, a little bit of a roadmap for somebody who, let's say they're like, okay, I'm pivoting out of corporate. I'm just about to launch my business. I'm not on social media, or I have a social media account, but I don't really use it. Now I have to use it as a marketing tool, but I don't really want to show up. What do I have to do? What's my mindset? And what are the best platforms or the best tools? Any tips that you can have for somebody who is making that pivot?
Mindset. Know that marketing is a long-term game. No matter what platform that you are on or that you decide to choose to go with, that this is going to be a long-term game. When I pivoted, I knew that I had to bring my audience along this journey. So like I said, I started as a natural hair influencer, meaning I was talking about natural hair products, twisting my hair and showing people how to care for their hair and those type of things. And so I had to like stop that and like transition to this new, not new because I worked for a company and people knew me for working at that company doing marketing. And ironically, it was in natural hair. So I was the marketing person. And so it's just crazy how that all worked together. But I had to pivot and let people know like the new stuff that I was talking about. And I did that in a slow like rollout to say, hey, I'm going to be talking about these things. And especially when I quit my job in marketing, because I walked away from my dream job to pursue my dreams. And when I quit, I knew that I had to leverage me working there because it is such a popular brand. And I did have a really integral part in the foundation of building their social media and digital marketing. And so I can leverage that, right? And so that is just a blessing that I have been able to do because people seen my work. And so that kind of helped me catapult too, because it's like, oh, she's the girl that used to work there. And now she's doing this. And now I see that evolution. When it comes to platforms, I think that if you don't like Instagram, don't be on Instagram. I just want to say that because I feel like there's a lot of animosity with Instagram, and it doesn't have to be the platform that you're on. It's not like social media equals Instagram. There are so many other platforms. I think
what, Michelle, I think it's because Instagram started as a photography platform. And so especially those people who would come to you as clients like, I don't like the visibility, but I know I have to. They're like, okay, I got to show my face for the know, trust, like factor. Whereas if you go to Facebook, you don't necessarily have to do it. You can write. Some people are used to, just the writing, and it's the picture is secondary, and maybe it's not a picture of you, it's something else, doesn't necessarily, but Instagram pushes that. So it's interesting that you say that. If not Instagram, then what would you recommend?
Definitely Facebook. I'm glad you said that. I get a lot of clients on Facebook. And on my personal Facebook page.
Okay.
So now they've changed it where your personal Facebook page, they can give you like a professional page. So it's like a page, but now it's like people can follow you. You don't have to like necessarily have friends on. I mean, you still have friends, but you can only have 5,000 friends. But leveraging it to use it as a way to show you're an expert, kind of like LinkedIn, but there's so many business owners on Facebook. I mean, I've gotten 5-figure deals on Facebook. So if Instagram is not that platform for you, it may not work. And not saying it may not work, but don't just think of Instagram as the money maker. I'm going to make sales today. No, think about it as a brand awareness tool that your content and what you share and the value you provide is going to help you with visibility and make you and build that like, know, and trust, even if you don't show your face. I mean, you don't have to show your face. There's so many ways that if you have products, you don't have to. But I mean, I do suggest showing your face if you are a founder of a brand, because it just will help to bridge that connection and make your brand humanized, because that's what people are looking for, especially on Instagram. And so you want to think about that when you think about Instagram. So it may not work in the sense of, oh, I'm going to get instant sales, but it can work in the sense of I'm building community, I'm building like, know, and trust, I'm building my expertise, and my content is showcasing that I'm an expert here on this app. There's also Clubhouse. I think Clubhouse is a great app, but it really just depends on what you're using it for. Again, I think that Clubhouse has set me apart, especially I'm just going to use myself as an example because I got on it early. I was in many different rooms and I leveraged that because then people listening to hear you speak. And when you speak and someone hears you speak, it's very different from seeing you as well. So on that platform, if you know how to talk, if you are a speaker, if you know what you're talking about, you can definitely build that expertise because people will gravitate towards that. They know that, oh, Michelle, she was talking in that room. Now I'm going to go follow her on Instagram. Now I'm going to go follow her in all these other places. LinkedIn is still good too.
Okay. So
yeah.
TikTok. right? A lot of people right now, it's like TikTok because it's becoming like TikTok's like a search engine, kind of like, YouTube became because Google and all these things. So, whereas Facebook and Instagram, they're like social media, the other two can be seen as search engines. So tell me about that, because I've also heard TikTok does not work at all in terms of business. So what's your thought on this?
TikTok is wide open for opportunities. Let's do not let anyone stop you from trying TikTok. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. That's how I feel with any of these apps. Okay. So take it as, if you don't feel it in your soul to do this app, don't do it. But TikTok has a wide open algorithm. I have seen people blow up literally overnight. I actually did a case study on this guy. He had been posting all these different type of videos, and then he posted this one type of video, and I think his name was Richard something. I don't remember his name, but he works in a Broadway play, and he started to film his behind the scenes, like him getting undressed, because if like plays and film, they have to do these things fast, and it hit, and it was interesting to people. He had gained at least 20,000 followers overnight. So TikTok has a wide open algorithm that if you find what your audience is really looking for, or that niche, or a specific niche, that you can get so many views. I also follow a board certified psychologist on TikTok, and he created a video talking about parenting, and it ended up going viral as well. But now he can leverage that. He has millions of views, but he's a board certified psychologist. So it's helping him build his expertise. So whether you're a doctor, a nurse, you sell products, TikTok can be for you. You don't have to dance. You're right. It is a search engine. People are searching for how to do this. I just watched a video yesterday of how to plan for estate planning. I'm going to be honest, this is something that I had not started to think about, but as my parents get older, I need to think about this. And a woman gave me a rundown of exactly everything I need to do. If I need to hire somebody, the ins and outs, all in however short of time span. So it is a search engine. I think that TikTok is definitely wide open right now for opportunity.
What about, and I don't think I ever go into this app, but I've also heard great things about Pinterest in terms of also being a search engine. I get them all a little confused. There's so many, and of all the things you have to do in your business, you also have to do this unless you outsource it. But even if you outsource it, you still get to be involved, right? So Pinterest also functioning like a search engine where you can just input stuff and people are gathering information for some particular goal. What do you think of Pinterest?
Pinterest is also so great. And here's why. It is a search engine. So say you have a blog on your business site, right? And it's 5 reasons why you should work with a social media coach. People are searching for social media coaches on Pinterest, and then your pin's going to come up. And that's evergreen that people can always see over and over and over again. So here's the thing with Pinterest. It is a long game. Definitely you have to think that, because we're dealing with SEO and search engine. So you're saying that this piece of content is going to always be evergreen and come up in people's searches. And so Pinterest has so many different new options like idea pins. I just had someone on my podcast talking about that. She's a Pinterest expert. So idea pins, there's video pins, but when it comes to Pinterest, it really is a search engine. And I think that it's a great platform for coaches, consultants, those with online businesses, because people are always searching. And so it's not necessarily like a social media platform, because no one is really commenting. That's the old way of Pinterest. It's really turned into just a strict search engine where you're searching for information. So if you feel like your clients and customers are always asking some questions, or, they may be searching for something, whatever your FAQ, your frequently asked questions, go to Pinterest and see how many posts there are already created, like with that similar niche. And I bet you'll find so many things. So I think it's opportunity there as well.
That's a great tip. I never thought of using the FAQs for that, but you have a gift for us, right? You've got a free gift. Tell us about it.
Yes, I do. I have a checklist that you can use so that you can be successful on social media. So anything that you need to do to help you, like with daily, what you should be doing, quarterly, to help you just stay on top of your social media game so that you can continue to get your business visible and so that you continue to monetize. So that is my free gift. And everything that I have is like so sweet and to the point, actionable. So make sure you cross these things off so that you can start seeing that growth that you want to see.
I love it. We're all about action here. We're all about, okay, let's step into the inner stuff. Let's step into the mindset. Let's, make all the internal shifts. And then what are you going to do with it? So tell us where we can find you on whatever platforms you're in, so that we can then, people can apply all the information from your checklist and then let you know how it went.
Yes, you can definitely follow me on Instagram. That's where I am the most, at Michelle L. Thames. And definitely take a listen to my podcast, the Social Media Decoded Podcast. It's a really great podcast with information that is straight, sweet, and to the point with actionable tips. I interview some of the top marketing and social media experts. So I guarantee you that you will find some value there. And yeah, that's where you can find me, those two places. This has been so great, and I'm just grateful for everyone. And if you do use this checklist, please tag me on Instagram to let me know how you like it.
Yes, please do. And let me know as well. I just, I loved having Michelle on here because it's taken, I know personally, it's sometimes a push to just be like, okay, just point the camera at yourself and really go to, especially when you're tired, you don't feel like it, or you're feeling like you're having a really, like for some reason, you don't feel like you look like yourself today or whatever it might be, right? And yet we get to remind ourselves that we get to show up for our community, just like Michelle and I are showing up for you guys. Right? We get to show up. You guys get to show up for your community, whatever it might be. Maybe you're not a coach. Maybe you're not someone who wants to become a coach or an influencer or somebody that requires social media, but who are you showing up for in your work, in your life, in your relationships? Where are you hiding, and where are you not really being your authentic self? Where are you not consistently there? And so you get to take these tips from Michelle and you get to do something with them, and you let us know how it went for you as you applied this. Thank you, Michelle, so much for being here with us. This was super valuable information, and I will be applying Michelle's tips myself. So I will let Michelle know how it goes as well.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you so much. This was awesome.
And we'll see you all on the next video.